MY21 Beta 300RR Race Edition. Alright, so a couple folks have requested the what do you hate video, and I think I'm going to try to work on that here today. So we're riding. I've got about 22 hours on the bike now, and so far things have been going well. But when I ride today, I'm going to think about it a little bit, and we'll go through some points of the things I don't like on this bike. So stay tuned. Alright, so we're back after a day of riding. Yesterday was 45 miles of brutal single track, 2 loops, 20-mile loops. And so this was a really good test of the slow speed, rough, rocky, rooty, muddy, really the best one so far on this bike, which I've got not a ton of hours on yet, so getting close to 30. And of course the bike did great. So what do I hate about it? What don't I like? It's tough on this bike to find a lot of things that I don't like. The one that stood out to me, probably, and others have experienced it, is this love-hate relationship with this new handle here, the grab handle. Now, I love it. I love the position of it. I like it more than the old one. But when it's muddy, you're going to get your hands muddy. Not the end of the world, but that's something. The other thing I don't particularly like, but have never had a problem, is the location here on this caliper of the bleeder is on the back side, and that leaves that vulnerable in a crash. Some of the other, like the Yamahas that use the Nissan brakes and some of the Japanese one, this is in a different location. So maybe the Japanese have an exclusive on that with Nissan, I'm not sure. Other than that, this bike is so much more refined than the bike previous to it. They've really addressed and fixed lots of problems. Of course, you can see in my other videos, like I got rid of the mask here. That was stupid. Put the switch over here. You know, I've got my hour meter here. You know, everything I did in my videos was to make it, improve it a little bit. I don't like the fact that the pipe does come real close to the frame, but it doesn't cause me any trouble. It's just, I don't know, it's really not an issue. The ergonomics are good. You know, the air filter, if you're not paying attention, you can put it in upside down. So that could be a potential problem. Just pay attention. You know, that could be an issue. The foot pegs on the race edition are crappy, but I'm seeing guys that are just pulling the pins and putting in threaded replacement inserts, which I'm going to do here soon, and we'll do a little video on how we're going to do that. So again, that's a minor thing, but as far as the engine goes, as far as the chassis, the improvements, if you're in the market, no questions, I'd buy this bike, especially with these forks. Get them tuned. They are absolutely incredible in the rough stuff anywhere, but I've never had a set of forks that don't deflect and push and take a lot more energy out of me, and these just soak everything up. Mud management, you know, when your bike does get muddy, this doesn't get as packed in places as the generation before. You know, the new key lock, you can't put just a boot over it. I just fill mine with silicone. They changed the shape of it from round to this, whatever shape that is. You know, service, maintenance, much easier to get at things. You can get at your shock much easier. You can get the shock out easier. Just overall, it's a much more refined bike. Don't like this cap, because first of all, you're going to scratch it when you touch it. It's the aluminum race edition cap. It's kind of stupid. The plastic ones, the rubber ones, are just as good, or if not better. So I have to put a little pin in there to rotate this, because you can't get at it with a pair of pliers. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But I love the location of it, because you can pour your oil in it, because it goes into the case, not sitting over the clutch like a lot of the brands. So you can get oil in there pretty quick. You know, if you're on the fence, if you're not sure, if you're thinking, oh, I don't know, if you can get one, buy a Beta. You know, if you can get your hands on it, because I know they're in short supply. Just the whole seat setup, everything, much better. Just much more refined. Minor things, you know, overall, I say there's one thing they could do better in the bike would be redesign some of their electrical so you don't have this big wad of wires. And that's all because they endpoint everything up in the front chassis here. That can be an issue. I've never had an issue with it, but it can be an issue. Other than that, you know, bike is pretty good. It's going to be hard to improve on, I'll tell you that. It'll be really hard to improve on. So thank goodness it's carbureted. Hold on to those bikes forever because it'll never be the same once they're gone. So, all right. That's it. I hope this helps. I got a couple of videos coming on some little tricks and doodads I'm working on. So stay tuned. Thanks much.